Welcome back, everybody, to this untitled podcast for which we still haven't thought a name of but I guess today's episode 2, and we don't really have any scripts in mind. We just know that we're going to talk about the life of a student with roommates. So we know there are some funny bits from last time, and we kind of want to build on that and share some of those stories and maybe some wisdom too while we're at it.
Sir, sir.
Should we introduce ourselves again? I don't know. My name's Kevin,
Sure.
co-founder of Elev, and I'm here with.
JB, co-founder for Elev as well, and here to have a good time.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Wait, so roommates. Well, let's start really briefly with like what's been our roommate situation as students. Let's take it way back, 5 years ago.
Honestly, about I already know. Well, 5 years ago, when I first moved to Canada, my roommate situation, it was interesting because, like I said, I didn't know anyone here, and I was pretty much renting out a room in the house. Now, I didn't know anyone in the house, right? Like I was just taking the basis there, I was like, and so when it came to roommates, I had a bunch of different roommates, like different style, different personalities. Like we had the house had 6 rooms, and in each of those, so 6 rooms, I had one, so like 5 different roommates, and then sometimes I'll be full, sometimes it'll be like just a few. And so yeah, no, I've had my fair bit of experience with roommates,
Mhm.
and so yeah, that's something like it's like different personalities, different people to deal with.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, what about you?
Oh, so I've moved quite a few times, not only in my life but also just in the 4 years of university. So when we first moved to Edmonton, we used to live in this. We used to call it the trap house. 'Cause
Of course.
you know those
Yes, sir.
houses that are beat down, the grass is
100%.
overgrown,
100%.
but there's a Lambo in the front yard.
No, you got the charger, the SRT.
Yes.
The charger, yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it was one of those houses, and
Yeah.
it like built in like 1929, and it was 4 of us. So this roommate situation was kind of wild. To think
Yeah.
about it, I can't believe we did this. So there was
Yeah.
4 of us. It was me, my older brother, 2 years older, and it was two of my friends, one a girl, one a guy, and we all graduated high school together. So we all moved into the same house. The thing is, though, in this house, there's 2 bedrooms upstairs, 2 bedrooms downstairs, and only one bathroom. So
Oh
you had
wow. Okay.
three grown
That's
men and one girl, one woman, and we're sharing one bathroom. That was wild. That
yeah.
was wild. And
Yeah.
then I remember the landlord actually lived right next to us, like literally the house
Mm,
next over. Except
mm,
it was, one of those houses that they demolished and they rebuilt a brand new house. So
mm.
he had some bread. He had some money.
So so he had the right house for himself,
Hmm.
and the clubhouse gave it to you.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. And
crazy.
he actually told us the story when he first moved into his house, and then next door there used to be an old lady that used to live there. And she'd been living there for like 40 years, and she was about to die.
I don't know what's funny, bro.
I, that's so funny. It's not funny, but it's true. As soon as she said, "Help! I'm falling," and I can't, and I can't get up.
How would you say that?
He came in with the check, man. He said,
How would you say that?
Don't worry about your house. I got you." I don't. He paid dirt cheap for it because they've known
You
each other
would.
for a while, and then as soon as the lady
Damn.
was getting close to, you know,
Yeah.
she was getting
Yeah.
close, and
So,
he brought out the checkbook and he said, "Let's talk business." And the lady eventually
good.
sold to him, so he used to rent that house to students because it was near the
Oh,
university campus.
okay.
And but yeah, kind of wild. But I mean, can you
Yeah.
blame him? He's a
No,
businessman.
100%. 100%. And the thing, so that house that you're living in was the old lady's house.
Yeah, So we used to have a joke that her ghost was
We're
was
surprised.
still was still creeping around the place, man. It was weird
I
stuff
wouldn't be
going on.
surprised. Yeah.
Okay, so living with your roommates.
Yeah.
First of all,
Yeah.
there's always a decision that any student has to make. Should I live by myself? Should I live with
Mm,
roommates? And if
mm,
I do choose to live with roommates, who do I
mm,
live with? Do I live with my friends?
mm.
Do I live with strangers? How do I go about it? What's your suggestion based on your experience?
Based on my experience, at first, I would have said, yeah, like don't live with your friends, or even like if you live with a roommate, like you don't want to live with your friends, but you also don't want to live with someone that you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So you find the perfect balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you live with your friends, I'm like, I want to keep my relationship with my friends, like I want to keep them as they are. Like I meet you outside, we hang out, spend time, and then like I come back home and everything. But then
Mm-hmm.
once we like start to live together, it's like different. Like
Mm-hmm.
if something is not like it's not clean or everything is messed up, like we're gonna have like an argument about it, and then it might like affect that friendship, right? And so that's something I wasn't that was like, sort of my approach when it came to like living with with my friends. But also don't want to live with strangers because man, when I tell you I've had my fair share of experience living with strangers, yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. I can remember I had one roommate. I won't say the name because yeah, I had one roommate, and when I tell you she was busy, she was busy. Like, she was busy.
Oh,
Because
wait. You gotta expand on that. What you do? What you do?
hey, all I'm saying is back then, um, uh, so like back in the first year, like I wasn't really like familiar with the gym. This was just like very religious boy, go to school, do my classes, study, come back and sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But her, she had other, you know what I'm saying? What I mean by
Mm.
that is she was busy. Every
Mm.
night it
Mm.
was it was going down. Now here's the thing about Canadian houses. Okay,
Mm.
back home, the houses are made out of cement. So
Mm.
I don't know much about physics, but I know that like the sound doesn't travel through the cement. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? But
Mm.
here, the houses are made out of wood. So
Uh-huh.
if I do, everybody in this house can hear me clapping my hands. Take it. She was right next to me. Her room was
Uh,
right next to me. So yeah, long night.
if you're
I want
happy
to say,
and you know it, clap your
I
hands.
was,
She-
it was
It
it
was
was
a
loud
favorite
and on
song.
repeat. On repeat, bro. Shout out to my earphones, man, because they get me going. That's how I went to sleep.
She brought the streets inside the house.
Like, she was working overtime, bro. I'm telling you. And so yeah, nah, it was something. Actually, I couldn't really like tell her like, yo,
Mhm.
no, like I understand. You do what you gotta do. What makes you
Mhm.
happy. I'm
Mhm.
sleeping. Like I'm trying to get some rest, no. And so that was like a big challenge that I had with like a stranger, living with a stranger.
Mhm.
But for my suggestion, because we didn't really roommates, I would say like you want to live with someone that is, I want to say, amicable in the sense that like you're both in good terms.
Mhm.
It's not necessarily your friend or your enemy, but you're both in
Mhm.
good terms. Like
Mhm.
you can both communicate with each other and be like, hey, you know what? Can you make sure that you keep this when you're done? Or can you do that? Can you do this? Oh, my bad. And then they can also communicate with you. So it's like, oh, last time you forgot to close the fridge. Make sure you close it right. Or you forgot to do this.
Mhm.
Yeah, like you can talk in a way that like even creates tension. Right?
Mhm.
Because like I said, my roommates that I had before, um, it wasn't always amicable.
Mhm.
Sometimes it wasn't really come sad. You know what I'm saying? In the
Mhm.
sense that, like, another story that I have is so what happened with this one other roommate was that well they were also busy, But but they were like sort of like friends. You know,
Hmm.
like I know the person, like I know him. Like, I don't really know him, but like, I know him. Like, I can like talk to him.
Mhm.
But he was also busy, and he was also like I want to say, like not really the cleanest of the room, right? And so like when we would talk, I had to like, kind of look to like sweet talk, so
Mhm.
that I could get him to do what he has to do. But in the
Mhm.
beginning, it was like a little bit of tension because it was like, yeah, see, like it's cool when a girl comes over, but it sucks that I have to do the dishes for you guys. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So like could
Mhm.
you like look after the dishes and everything? You do what you do what you want to do. You know what I mean? See when the girl, I'm not saying anything. But
Mhm.
the dishes gotta be done. And the things
Mhm.
that remember when I told you like the level just shows up whenever? So there's none of them show up and then you see the dishes and then you see like a long ass email belling everybody. I'm like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to get paid. You know, like people say, what you say for me for? Like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. I was in my room, you know? And so
Mhm.
that was one of the things that I had to deal with. But overall, like they were like because of mostly focused on my studies, like I didn't have to really much to interact with them much. But the roommates that I have now, I'm super grateful. Like we started up as like what I can do service and then as we went on stuff like became friends, like pretty much really close friends.
Mhm.
And yeah, no, like we can communicate to each other like what needs to be done, what needs to be done from there. So to
Mhm.
answer your question, you gotta find a perfect balance.
Mhm.
That's my answer for this question. What about
100%.
you?
So my thing is, I think everybody should live with roommates for at least 2 years, and I think
Mm,
there's several reasons why, or several benefits.
mm,
Okay, maybe four that I can think of. Number one is you you get to know the kind of people that you actually like to live with, right?
mm,
And that's going to help you, when you're looking for to marry somebody or whatever, or how you want to raise your kids. So you get to know how you'd like to conduct your life. Number two, you get to find out what you're actually bad at, because your roommates will
mm,
call you out on it. You know what I mean? Because when you get caught slacking, at some point they're going to say something, and these are the things that you never really thought about. And all of a sudden, oh shit, they're calling me out for it, respectfully so now I know the things I need to work on. Number
mm,
three, it builds character, honestly, because you learn
mm,
to you learn to problem solve, you learn to
mm,
have difficult conversation, and exactly like you mentioned, with people who are sometimes close to you, sometimes not as close. So you get to
mm,
manage these dynamics, so to speak. And number four, honestly, it's cheaper. That's just the facts. And I think on our data, like the numbers on our system, like if you're living with one roommate, you can save maybe 50, $75 a month. If you're living with 2 3 roommates, then you're saving like $100 a month. If you're living with 4 roommates or more, then you're saving 150, even $200 a month sometimes. And that's obviously in our markets here in Edmonton and other cities. In Toronto or Vancouver, I would assume that you're probably saving 400 or $500 a month
Oh yeah,
if you're living
oh
with
yeah,
multiple roommates.
100%, 100%.
100%. So, like, what's been like the funniest thing that you can think of, okay, that's ever happened with with one of your roommates? Because my roommates, they were clowns, man, absolute clowns.
Actually, I want to hear yours. Let me think about mine. I'm pretty sure I have some, but I need to think about
You know what? I don't want to put them on blast. So I'm not going to say no names, but they will,
it.
when they're going to listen to this, they'll know who I'm talking about. So the first thing was, this was not really the funny thing, but in the first house that I live in university, my brother, this my friend who's a girl, my friend who was a guy, and the two friends on the DL, on the DL, they,
Get out of
I, I,
here.
I'm not trying
Get
to
out of
wait, hold
here.
on. I'm not trying to say they were
Nah,
getting
bro.
busy. All I'm
Nah,
trying to say, all
nah,
I'm trying
bro.
to
Hold
say
on. Hold on.
is that there was some
Hold on.
tension, and
Hey, yo. What is it? You gotta
all,
be,
all I'm saying is that
you
there
gotta
was
be
some
careful,
tension.
bro.
I see, if you ask them, they will deny it. They'll say accusations, but I'm telling you, there was
You gotta
tension.
be careful.
Let me tell you. So if So imagine you're living with your roommate, who's your friend. Yeah, you're pretty close friends, and
Yeah.
she's of the opposite gender. She's a girl. Hey,
Mhm.
would you do things like hit each other around and be like, "Ah, you're hurting me. You're hurting me. You're hurting me." No,
Mm,
nobody
mm,
does that unless
mm,
you're trying to get busy.
mm.
Nobody gets.
Someone, someone was playing the long game.
Honestly, if those walls were made out of cement, I know.
Ah! Ah! Don't kill me.
You know those movies where it's like, if we don't get married by 30, we have to bury each other.
Oh, that's them.
that,
Say the
that
word.
is gonna be
Oh,
them.
hell
I don't know if they've
no.
ever said it, but they're the kinds of people that 100% I can see it happening. And I've been telling them, you know what? At this point, it's kind of obvious. Everybody sees it except for you two. But and the girl will say, he's not my type, and the guy will say,
Of
she's
course.
not my type. It's not
Of
like that, bro.
course.
It's not like that,
Of
bro.
course. We both
Then
know. We both know. Of course. 100%.
we
100%.
both know. No, but
Yeah, nah.
fun. One of the funny stories, man. This I'll never forget this day. So, so one of my roommates. It's funny because you know him, so I feel like I'm exposing it. But it's for the content. It's for the content, man. So one day he's like, I think he came, we were in the kitchen or something, or he came up to me and he said, "You know what? I'm trying to make pasta right now, but I don't have time because I gotta study, and I'm
Oh,
not trying to wait for.
gosh.
I'm not. He said, I'm not trying to wait for the water to boil. you think I could put it in the microwave?
Come on.
I'm like, I guess it's gonna boil faster. It's gonna
Uh,
warm up. So he's like, I
uh,
bet.
oh,
So
man.
I at some point I go downstairs, right? And I don't know what I was doing that. All I hear is, and then I start smelling smoke. So I run upstairs, open the microwave, and
No.
so
Come on, man.
the randoms put the pasta and water in a metal pot
Oh,
and put it in
yeah,
the
nah.
microwave.
No, that was,
No,
yeah.
look, get this, and a metal lid on top, and
You
covered it with a
lying.
metal lid, and
You lying.
you put it in for like 6 minutes.
Come on. Yeah, no, that was, that was attempted
Wow.
murder. He was on the mission.
Honestly, the whole house smelled
Yo.
like Chernobyl for like a month.
Come
We had
on.
to take the microwave. We left it outside. This was like almost a winter, like November-ish. The
Oh,
midterms
snap.
are coming up, so we left the microwave outside for like a month because
Bruh.
it was stinking. But for some reason, that microwave to this day still works. You know those old
Bruh.
ass microwaves that had actual radiation in it.
Yo.
That was up there with the funniest things.
Yo, that's actually crazy.
Uh,
I can see the logic behind it, but yeah, no, that one, yeah, nah. But
yeah.
funny thing, once I almost, because something similar happened to me, but I didn't have, I didn't put like the pot or whatever in the microwave, but I was trying to warm up a sandwich with like, you had like an aluminum cover,
Mhm.
and I put it in the microwave. Taking notes back when I was working I was working at a deli back then, and so
Mhm.
like it was like literally in the middle of the store, not in the middle of the store, but like it was just out there open. So I put my
Mhm.
thing in there, and I went to like first certain customers, and the next thing you hear, you bah, 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 bah. and, I see, and then I see a coworker run to the microwave and pop it and like it should do like when my friend coming up. And she said, "Who the hell put this in the microwave?" Yeah, everyone was quiet. I was saying that. I was quiet. You know what? I couldn't because I was she had everyone's attention. I was like, but we shouldn't be harsh on the person that did it.
Uh-huh.
Not it was me. You know what? I did it. But yeah, no, it happened to me too. It's like it's the logic behind it, but yeah, the guy was on a mission.
It
Yeah, he was
slipped.
trying to And
Uh,
Oreo.
since I was exposing the one roommate, let me expose some of the other ones.
Oh, there's more. Let's go, baby.
so, so the girl, okay, she was one of those girls that
Okay.
says, independent black woman.
Of course.
I don't live for no man.
Hmm.
I don't do nothing for no man. I don't cook
Tell
for
him,
no
girl.
man.
Tell
Nothing.
him, girl.
Okay.
Tell him how it is.
And then he started dating this guy. And
No.
because she went from the independent black woman, I never cook for no man, to she started whipping four
Say
course
word.
meals for this man.
Say word.
And there's nothing in this world that will change a person that much.
Hey, man.
Unless
When you got it, you got it. You know.
when you got it, you got it.
When you got it, you
But
got it, you know.
no, but I remember when she used to cook, she was Nigerian, and
Mm.
she used to always make jollof. And you know Nigerians, how they go crazy on the spice. She had this you know, those transparent containers, and
Yeah.
how this powder in it, unlabeled.
Of course,
you,
yes, that's one.
you,
Yeah.
you don't even know what it is.
You don't know
And
what it is, bro.
and you know, in cookbooks how it says like 1 tablespoon of this, one
Nah,
teaspoon
bro.
of that. She
Just
just
take
takes a just sprinkle it till she feels satisfied.
it.
But the problem was that shit was spicy, bro. If if you were at home, I was like in the basement, the kitchen's upstairs, and you're studying, and all of a sudden you start tearing up.
You start crying.
Yeah, your nose start running. You know she's cooking upstairs. If your nose start running and your tears start coming down, so
Yo.
the whole house was smelling spicy. The air was spicy. Nah, it was
And she was
crazy.
busting on the. But she was busting on the grill. Going
She
crazy
was
for the
going
man.
crazy for the mandems. This guy was eating good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, man.
if he got it, he got it.
If you got it, you got it, you know.
Oh my
I'm
god.
actually dead. Don't kill me, bro.
This guy was legendary.
Yo.
Shout out to the mandems, man.
Hey, man. Did she also bust another group for you guys, or?
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. Yeah.
You,
She says, screw you guys.
you know, me, we were like, me and the other boys, we were gentlemen, obviously, right? The only girl, we went above and beyond. Every time, for example, we'd order food, be like, hey, what do you want? You trying to get something? I got you. Or like, you know, we'd be let me carry your groceries inside the house. You know, let me, you know, we'd go above and beyond.
Don't kill
But her,
me.
nah, she was. I don't remember the one time I ever remember her making something for everybody. I think she made Rice Krispies like in the middle of the night, but she burnt them. That's what she gave it them.
She was like, well, this can go to waste. Oh, I have roommates.
Hey.
Hey, yo, Kevin, come check this out. I made something for y'all. Yeah, that's crazy.
And then no, but the other roommate, he was a big Arsenal fan, and I mean, you know him, so I don't know if he's still big, but he was big Arsenal fan, and every morning, I don't know when the games were, but 7 a.m. the zone was on. Arsenal was every time 7 a.m. It doesn't matter if it's a Sunday, Saturday, it doesn't matter. He's on the couch watching the game. Even if he has class at 8 a.m., he's watching the game. And I remember if at around like 6:50 you heard the doorbell ring, you knew it was DoorDash coming with a McDonald's order. Junior chicken meal with fries and a Diet Coke or whatever he would get. But if you see, I mean, he would always lay on the couch. You know when you're on the couch like this, like you're laying like this, and you're like that, and then with the McDonald's bag, I watching Arsenal every morning.
Hey man, living the best life. You know what I'm saying?
He was living the best life. No, those were fun days. Yeah. So, I guess we kind of talked about the pros and cons of like living with roommates. I mean, some of the cons, you know, in hindsight, ends up being kind of like the funnest moments, you know. But there's always like the fucking dishes, man. That's what gets to me. And you know, actually, exactly like you mentioned, with my brother that I live with now, he's clean. The problem is the people that come over. You know what I mean? When the whole squad comes, when people come visit, you know what I mean? And so I've been trying to tell him, if you're gonna bring your population here, your population gotta live like us. You know what I mean? They can come in here and make their own rules. And that's just what gets me. So I guess a recommendation: if you have roommate, actually, let me tell you real quick. I think when we do edit this video, we'll show it on the screen there. In our second year of university, we live with the same people, so my two friends and my brother. And because the first year was so difficult with like keeping up with chores, etc., and we actually made a constitution. We called it the Allendale Constitution.
Oh,
Okay?
goodness.
So we'll put up the actual screenshots of this document. I still have it. It was called the Allendale Constitution. Allendale after the neighborhood that we lived in, and it basically laid all of it out. These are the people that live in this house. These are the rules, and these are the schedules. It wasn't like if you don't do this, you get fined this much. It was if you don't do this, you get fined according to Schedule B in Section 3.8.
Oh, come on. Oh, you guys can't be serious.
Nah, we had it broken down. It was like, if say you're responsible for the dishes, if you don't do the dishes, the first time in the schedule is like you do your next person's dish chore or whatever. If you don't do it on time, if you do it, if it's your second strike, you and then we were like, okay, well, people getting fined with like just doing other people's chores wasn't enough, so we put money on it. So it was like on like your second fine, it's $5 to every roommate. Third fine, $10 to every roommate, and we had like reset time that you can reset your strikes after, like, if you go like 3 weeks without any additional strikes, you reset back to zero. And then we had this system, which I actually recommend to everybody who has more than 3 roommates, honestly. We called it the watchdog. So it was 4 of us, and we basically made it into a circular pattern. You're the watchdog for this guy, you're the watchdog for that guy, you're the watchdog for her. And then it was basically like, okay, as the watchdog, it's your responsibility to make sure the person does their chore. And if the person doesn't do their chore and you report it in the group chat, that person has to do your chore as the watchdog. And if it's like the whatever nth strike, the person has to do not only the watchdog's chore but everybody else's chore. And like we had it all laid out. We even had like rules for like roommates, and we had rules for everything in the Constitution. So I don't know, maybe it was a little extreme, but to be honest with you, it made living a whole lot easier. The house was much more cleaner because the rules were set out ahead of time, and we had people's signature on it, and we put at the bottom, this constitute a legal document, and if you owe me money legally, you owe me money.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
like that.
We were like that. But you know what, that's why, like, when I think about Elev and where we are now and where we're going, there's so many opportunities to help students. Look at me, I'm going into my pitch mode.
Let's go, baby. Let's talk your shit, bro, real quick.
All right. Let me get on my co-founder vibe. So when we think about Elev and the opportunities that are in front of us, right? The challenges that students face is not just finding a house, right? And it extends beyond booking viewings, which is challenging. It extends beyond applications, which is challenging, leases, which is challenging, rent payments, which is challenging, right? There's so many other challenges that these students face that we could be there to solve the problem for them. And that's why from the beginning, right, we never called ourselves, a marketplace for student housing. We called ourselves an ecosystem, not only to help students find a home away from home, but to help students with their living experience. Right? That's right. And put the sound effects at the end of that. Hey, I can't hear you. I don't know if you're talking.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
You hear the reaction that I did? You didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear the reaction. I don't know. Maybe you picked it up on your end. I'm not sure.
I was saying, let him cook. Let him cook, man. That's crazy. Let's go.
100%.
This is not a marketplace. It's an ecosystem.
Quit playing with that, man.
Come on,
Quit,
man.
quit
Come
laying,
on,
man.
man. Come on, man. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's
Um,
go.
I know that this was supposed to be a back and forth thing, but I just been spitting story after stories because they were at the at the forefront of my mind. But I got one more story. Okay, one more roommate story, and this was the in first year with the girl in question that we were talking about with my roommate. That was the girl. So and within like the first week or two in Edmonton, we went out to Costco. We bought a crap ton of groceries. We actually have a photo of the fridge of us in front of the fridge because we're like, this is the only time the fridge will ever be full. Because we already spent half our money for the semester on groceries that one trip. And so there were some things in the grocery purchases that were shared, like big things like salt, rice, those things were shared. And there was some other things that was like, okay, me and you want to get this, we'll share it, just the two of us, right? Or me and him or me and her want to share this, or like the three of us, or you know what I mean? So some things were shared, but other things were individual. And then one day, we get a message in a group chat. Okay, can you hear me? It's just a little glitchy, but it's coming back.
What about now?
Okay, that's better. I can hear you.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. So you're saying yes, so when you get a message in the group chat?
Yeah, so one day we get a message in the group chat, okay? Yo, who the fuck hate my taquitos, man?
Wait, hold on. You froze. Good night. You froze.
Oh, okay. I'll say it again.
We got a message and then you froze. Come on.
Okay. So we got a message in a group chat. Okay. So the message goes, "Hey, hey, yo, who the fuck hate my taquitos, man?
Somebody taquitos.
Who the fuck ate my taquitos, man?"
Yo,
it caught me off guard because I was in the middle of class. Oh, it was aggressive, you know. Who the fuck ate my taquitos, man? I was like, I was shook for a second. I was like, whoa. Let me compose myself. Did I eat taquitos? I started questioning my own memory. You know, did I touch taquitos? Did I eat somebody's taquitos? I was like, not me. The other roommate, yeah, not me. And then my brother wasn't in this group chat because he had an Android. Yeah, whack.
Come on, man. You gotta upgrade.
So I had to relay the info. And then I text my brother. I was like, "Hey, did you eat her taquitos? Somebody ate the taquitos. It wasn't you." And then he was also in class, so he didn't quite reply. And then the message on the group chat keeps coming. Yo, who the fuck ate my taquitos? Somebody needs to fess up right now. Right now, dog.
Damn.
And then we get a picture. Every single piece of groceries on the counter and on the floor. If nobody confesses right now, we all starving. I'm throwing all this shit in the garbage right now. You'll go 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes to confess who ate my fucking taquitos. Otherwise, we all going hungry in this house. I was like, I was shocked because this is like the first week or two living with this person. I was like, God damn. What did I get myself into?
What taquitos, man?
Who's taquitos? I didn't touch no taquitos, man.
Come on, man.
So we're trying to appease in the group chat. We're like, whoa, chill. We can figure it out. Chill. We can buy a new pack. He's like, no, I don't want a new pack. Whoever ate my taquito has to confess.
You didn't want to
We're sweating. You know, like second week of school when shit gets serious and you're stressing in class, but then you get these messages.
Yeah, that's the one.
And I'm already thinking, God damn, I already spent half my groceries worth of money on all these on this groceries, and if she's actually gonna throw it out, nah. Anyway, it ended up being my brother because he was like, "Oh, I thought,
yeah,
the motherfucking that was him trying to explain. You know that the motherfucking
yeah, not me. Don't kill me. That's actually crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, he said he thought the taquitos were shared amongst each other. But
It was
how does a pack of 16? How does half of it go missing? And
whoa. Yeah,
you thought
yeah.
it
No,
was shared.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah,
it was a violation for sure.
yeah.
But finally, we got the appeasement in the group chat. They're like, oh, hey, all right, hey, settle down. So
Hey,
we
calm down,
found the
calm down,
culprit.
calm down. It's good. You can relax now.
Now put the food back.
Put it back, yeah. Because
Yeah,
that's like half my bread gone. Like I spent too much money
honestly.
on this.
Yeah,
It
no,
cannot go to waste.
I came
Yeah.
home. I was scared. I was trying to avoid interaction. I was like, damn, this person they mean business. They mean business. But you know how like black people are super into juice. I don't know if that was a thing with you. Did you drink juice growing up?
Actually, my parents made sure that I drank in moderate amounts.
Damn.
So like
So yeah,
we
you
had
had a
sirop. You know sirop, grenadine. There you go, grenadine. That's what we had.
grenadine.
Yeah, that's what we had. You pour a little bit and you overflow with water. That's what we had.
That was the Mio squirt before the Mio squirt, man.
Yes, sir. Wait. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
So, I don't know. Every black person I've talked to, I have drank a lot of juice growing up. Because when you talk to Caucasian people, it's always we used to drink milk with our meals or water or tea or whatever. But nah, we drank juice and so everybody at my house were juice people. And this is even like back home with like my siblings at home. As soon as a juice bottle was open,
game time.
You got 23 hours, not 24, 23 hours. If you don't get your sip in, it's done. It's like the Hunger Games, man. The timer starts as soon as the cap is off.
Yep. No, I 100% get you.
So that was a thing with my roommates as well. But the problem was when somebody drinks a little bit of juice, you can't really tell that it moved. So people were getting crafty with it.
Just a little bit.
Just enough that you can't notice the difference. I said, man, enough of this. I took Sharpie. I started marking my lines. Even if you see that it moved from like the top of the Sharpie mark to the bottom of the Sharpie mark, hey, yo, who the fuck drink my juice, man?
It's on site. You see all these groceries? It's gone. I need to know right now.
It's got 5 minutes to fess up right now.
I'm actually dead. That's actually wild. What if somebody just like, because I wonder how you do it. Like, do you like is it like at each drink you put like a Sharpie, or is it like you drink and then you erase it, and then you drink and then you erase it?
Nah, I would put everyone just to track evolution.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it can't be erasable because then somebody can just erase it. It has to be the permanent Sharpies.
That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, it has to be the permanent ones because I can come and just erase it real quick, drink half a cup, and then put a mark in there.
I don't know if anybody ever did this, but I feel like if I was a bad person, I'm not saying I've ever done this, but if I was a bad person, you drink a little bit. Pour some more water in it. Just pour a little bit of water.
You know what? That's actually very smart.
And that's smart. It dilutes it a tiny bit. You can't notice the difference, but you got your half a cup of juice in.
Or even like screw it. Like grab like a proper, take like maybe like half of it, dilute it and never touch it again. And then you hear let's see here Kevin like, yo, Jimmy, what does my thing taste weird?
Yeah. So this juice is whack, man.
This juice is whack. Yes. Like, hey, yo, what's happening with this company? They're messing up the drink right now.
Yeah. It's not like it used to be, man.
It's not like it used to be, man. Exactly.
You know which reminds me of this is we're going way out of track here. But I had a friend in high school. This guy was he thought it was the finesse kid, but he was just a thief. So this guy, he went to Costco. He bought those big bags of like protein powder.
Yeah.
Went home, put all the protein powder in a container, put flour in it.
Oh, come on!
Went back and returned it. I don't like the taste.
and they took it back.
They took it back. They took it back.
Come on.
Nah, the Costco
Nah, that's a
days.
thief right there. That's a
Nah,
thief right there, bro.
It was a finesse kid.
Nah, bro. That's a thief. You gotta lock him up after that one.
Nah, it's company policy. No questions asked. They'll take it back.
Bro. I mean, yeah, I can see how he finessed. I'm not gonna lie, I can see how he finessed. No questions asked, so it could be anything in there. Because I feel like they might even get rid of it.
Yeah, I have stories for this because I used to work at Costco, and everything that you return, even if it's closed, it's getting disposed of. Like simple unless it's like a winter jacket that's in like mint condition, they're tossing it. Things like electronics, like hair dryers and that stuff, those things go to liquidation stores if they're still working. But most things that you return, they toss it. Especially food items, straight to the garbage.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's wild. That's for another time.
Yeah,
for another episode.
Sure.
Another episode.
For sure, 100%. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anyway, any final words? Any final words?
Yeah, I would say, like you said, I think you said at some point, in hindsight, living roommates can definitely come with like a lot of challenges. Like in the moment, you're like, what the fuck is this? And you just pissed, whatever. But when you think about it, like years later or like months later, like it's probably like one of like the best, like the funnest memories you ever have. And so last word would be like, choose your roommate wisely. You know, you cannot be like your best friend. I mean, they can be your best friend, but all I'm saying is, it's one thing to have friends outside of the house, and it's one thing to have friends as a roommate inside of the house. So pick your roommate wisely. That's all I gotta say.
Or you can go to elevhomes.ca and we'll match you with a roommates based on 15 different factors. Things as simple as when you like to wake up or how hot you like the thermostat to be set at. elevhomes.ca to find the perfect roommates and a perfect home for you.
We can buy you or link in the comments. Yeah. Check it out. Actually, the link is right here.
We should be doing radio commercials or something.
100%.
Anyway,
choose Elev Homes. Let's see.